Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me. Well, we have got through the first half of 2024 and we're now into the second half. And how are you feeling? Has life got a little bit routine for you? A little boring? I think in the winter and early spring, we tend to sort of hibernate a bit. But then when the summer and autumn comes, it's time for getting out into the world. We get more energy and positivity and just embrace, the world around us. So I want to talk to you about some ways that you can make that transition from the kind of quiet, boredom, maybe inducing, lonely sometimes, reality of the dark nights of winter and what it's like in the summer. Now, I know we have lots of women who live in Australia and on the other side of the world. So just reverse it for you and apply this when summer comes to you. But anyway, I want to refer to an article though by Christine Field. She's one of our bloggers. Christine's written a lot of articles for us, and I really like this one. It's like 7 ways to enrich your life after 60. And it's particularly, the energy that I've talked about, the momentum that we can get when we just try to get out into the world. And here's the secret. It's not going to happen just magically. You have to do something. You have to get out there. You have to get engaged. You have to, do things. You have to take action. And I think that's the challenging part sometimes, that we actually don't give ourselves that opportunity. I'm going to put my light up a little bit today. Even though it's quite bright outside, but it's somehow darker in here. But anywho, let's you organize a group, do something on your own. But here's some ideas for creating a new life, a more exciting, energetic, and enriching life after the winter months. So I think the first thing that you have to always do, when you're making friends or wanting to get out into the world, is decide what you like. What are your passions? What are your preferences? Because if you go to events or places that you don't find interesting, you won't meet the people that you want to meet. You've got to know yourself first. So what excites you? What kind of life do you want? Do you want a quiet life? There's nothing wrong with that. But do you want something that's more cultural? Do you want to be able to experience more music, more outdoor activities, walking, hiking, or travel? What are the things that really, really excite you? That's a question to ask. And I guess the big one is, who are you? Really? Who are you? Because when you're 60, 65, 70 plus year old woman, you're often, just moving away from the context of being there for somebody else, maybe a partner who's no longer with you, or children that have moved away and started their own lives, sometimes without you in the picture. But who is the you? Who is that little person that really, really represents what you are and who you are? So the first thing that Christine talks about in terms of making new friends and getting out into the world and enriching your life is to actually talk to people. Talk to people. I'm not saying go up to strangers and start talking to strangers, but if you're at a cafe or you're somewhere where it's a nice environment, you feel safe in doing it, chat with people. Chat with people who don't match your appearance, people that are a little bit different. Try to overcome some of those hesitations, but also go to workshops, go to events where the talking to people is a little bit more organized and maybe more boundaries that you can deal with. But there's so much going on, like, just gatherings and book clubs and movie clubs. You can do anything. Meetup.com is still the only one that I know of that allows you to open your own groups on any theme. You could, coloring books for adults, whatever. And I actually did that once. I did knitting. And I also did train travel. And I got so many cool people joined. We had different people almost every week. And it was lovely because we actually got to be friends over about a year of travel. It was really, really cool. So meetup's a really good place. But talk to new people. They may become your best friends. They may become your partner. You never know. You never know unless you ask, unless you engage. Whatever the outcome of that engagement in the meetup or the meeting or the event, it's not going to happen at all if you're at home. Okay? This is obvious. I'm just being silly, but the thing is, you have to get out there. Introduce yourself to other people. Just smile. Smiling's a big deal. Take a trip. Go away from home. Now we do 60andMe trips now and again, and if you're interested, by the way, join our Patreon group because that's where they all get announced first. We did a trip that we're planning a trip for October 25. And I announced it to our Patreon group, which is the people that support 60andMe, and it was sold out within a week. So I didn't even announce it to the YouTube community because there were no more spaces. So if you are interested in our travel, please sign up for our newsletter, or just become a Patreon supporter. That's the easiest way. And that's just patreon.com/60me. $3 a month. It's our only way of gaining an income that we don't have to, charge a membership fee. A side note, but taking a trip is a big deal for people in their 60s because a lot have never traveled alone. You'd be surprised how many women we just did a cruise. How many were on that cruise, never having cruised before, never having been away from their partner, or never, maybe their partner is no longer with them and they had to travel by themselves. There were some, sort of hardcore travelers that didn't fall into that, but there were a lot who did not have that experience. So travel, people, you can learn so much from other cultures, even if it's just at the grocery store or even on a tour. You can absorb the energy of a place, and it really honestly enriches your life beyond, in my opinion, description. And it doesn't have to be a trip overseas. It can be a trip around your own town, your own city, or your own country. But you don't have to, and sometimes, by the way, you can do it virtually. But then virtually, unless you're part of an online group that's watching it virtually, it's just another thing of opportunity to stay in. But go out, get into the world, travel. Third thing is to establish new habits and routines, and then create like a sense of potential in doing that. So maybe you go for a walk every morning at 8 o'clock, or you make a point to, volunteer in a certain place. By the way, I've got this crazy throat. I don't know. It's the seasonal change that does this to my throat. It's not. I don't have a cold or anything. It's just my throat. But anyhow, begin to do something that you've always wanted to do. Maybe a dance class, Zumba, or do just belly dancing or exercise. Start riding a bike. But start an activity that's going to. You're going to show up in places. You're going to show up at the place every month or week or whatever. People are going to see you. You're going to talk, and go to the cafe. Sit at the cafe. Go next Thursday, and the next Thursday, and the next Thursday, and you'll see there'll be the same people coming in on Thursday. Sometimes you can chat. But establish a habit or an activity that's going to make you do it. Another thing that Christine talks about is journaling. And I have a thing about journaling. I actually do so many videos that this is kind of my journal. I never thought about it that way until I started thinking, I don't journal. I mean, I write little scripts down, little notes on my thing when I'm talking to you, but I don't journal. But Christine says that it's a really profound way to learn about yourself. And I kind of get it. I understand. Has anybody out there got a really positive experience with journaling? I'd love to know. Just leave your comments below, because a lot of people don't do it. But I think it's one of Christine's suggestions for, finding out how to enrich your life, starting with you. The next thing is, play an instrument. Play an instrument for 30 minutes a day. Doesn't matter. I bought my grandkids these little drums that you like, the little drum, and then you bang this thing, different tunes. That's okay. Do that. Play the harmonica, play the guitar, play the piano. Just if you haven't got any of those instruments, buy a recorder or a flute or something. But any musical instrument is going to make you feel good. Music is so crazy. I went to a place called Baden a while ago now, and there was a festival, music festival there. I think I did a video on this because the person that I watched was so crazy. He was a one-man band, and he had the guitar, he had the drums, he had the things going on all over his body, and he was just playing energy, amazing. But music just turns on your soul with positivity. I love music of all kinds. And every time I hear Andrea Bocelli and Ed Sheeran singing perfect, it's tears or laughter or joy. But music's great. Music's very powerful. Start playing. Work on your thinking about, positive affirmations rather than negative affirmations, and what are the things that impacted you? How did you get to that point? And in doing that, we're going full circle. It's back to the very first point, which is, by the way, extremely hot in here. And I do have a fan. I might put it on later. But anywho, it's going back to the beginning where it says that where you start with all of this is with yourself. And unless you really start, knowing yourself well and have positive beliefs about you, not negatives, you're going to struggle. Educate yourself, of course. Libraries, bookstores are great places to meet new people. And also, this isn't just, this article is not just about meeting friends, although it's an outcome of knowing yourself, but it's also how to enrich your life. I'm reading a book. Hold on. I'll show you. I have to sneak over here to get it because it's been by my bed I've been reading it. It's called The Book of Doors. Okay, I actually I read The Midnight Library, and I'm thinking this is a little bit like that. But anyway, it's basically the story of a young girl who works in a bookstore who one of her longtime kind of visitors to the bookstore dies and leaves her a book, and the book has magic powers to take her to open doors. I won't tell you anymore because it's part of the book, but it's really cool. And I'm reading Amortals, which New Gentleman in Moscow. I'm reading book of what's it called? Table for Two. Short stories. But what are you reading? What's everybody reading? Tell me. I'm so into books again now. I used to be like hesitant of sitting down reading. No, it's too, I've got too much to do. I'm too busy. I read now. It's good. Try new things. I think that's the bottom line for Christine. Just try new things and try to make those things enrich your life. Do the things you love. Know who you are. Love yourself. And you'll find the way. Okay. Okay, I think I've got my 10-minute limit here on my voice. Have a fabulous day wherever you are. Know that I love you, and I wish you all so much goodness and happiness in your life. Stay safe. Leave messages below. Help each other out on the journey. Take good care.